Hey guys, welcome back to some more Guild of Guardians. Today's video, we're going to be looking at a couple tips that I really picked up that players have shared not only on YouTube, but a couple different places to make your progression through this game a little bit easier. And of course, starting with number one, it is the Guardians themselves. Now you'll see that, for instance, Ashwin right here is a Cinder Agility Redeemer's Assassin. So that kind of breaks out the specifications when you look here at the domain, the aptitude, the faction, and the class. You have to know these. You have to know which heroes you use. It is imperative when you start getting into the endless mode, when you start getting into campaign, different places within this game, you have to know which heroes you're running, because essentially you have to know who is getting the buffs with the runes that you're picking up in this game. Makes it very, very important. Now, in addition, if you're running the same heroes, they are going to receive bonuses, which I'll show you guys in just a minute in the adventure mode, again, making it a big difference. Now, crafting, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but you can actually combine the bags. As you can see, I have level 2 bags. It says right now level 3 is unlocked. Now, in addition, you can combine the materials from these bags. And again, big shout out to YouTube for pointing this out. So when we go, for instance, let's go ahead and summon up some of these. So we're getting some experience. You can see this is a really good way to get experience. We're out of energy. You can combine the like items. So 2 to 2 to make it 3, 1 to 1 to make it 2, so on and so forth. And again, I did not know that you could actually combine these in the bag themselves. So very similar than what we did with the bags is you can combine these to the highest thing that you want, making more room in here to essentially craft, and also making sure that you get this chest. So the chest right down here is available every time you hit a certain amount of pulls out of one of these 3 bags if you overshoot it. So for instance, right now I'm 44 or 45. If I do 45, if I do 46, 47, 48, those ones are going to be lost when you go ahead and you go over that 45 mark without claiming this chest. You are going to lose them in their entirety, which kind of stinks. Now, of course, looking at a couple things in here, the adventure mode. I want to look through this. As you can see, we're in the Deadlands right now, but you can see we went through the Brimstone, we went through the Requiem. Overall, there are a couple different modes, and a lot of players didn't understand this either. So when you complete this the first time you run through the adventure mode, you go through, and this is the storyline for progression that you're completing. Once you go through the first time, you are going to unlock Challenge 1. Once you complete Challenge 1, you can attempt Challenge 2. Once Challenge 2 is done, you can incorporate and complete Challenge 3. Now, of course, looking at all 3 of these challenge modes, you can see right down here, we have a little bit of EXP, we have some gold, we have some couple other mats. When you look at challenge number 2, this is where you actually start getting shards of heroes. So this is actually right here. You can see there are a couple shards. Now, why is this important? When you're getting out these shards, these are the heroes that you're going to build. And essentially, these are heroes that at a point you're going to recycle, because when you recycle these heroes, they're going to give you more souls. Now, the souls are going to be used to build up your legendary heroes. So it is a game of progression. In addition, getting gold chests in here, I've been out of gold forever. Then you get into challenge number 3. This one, look at this. You start getting, that is right, you start getting the elite shards out of here, which again, if you're looking at some of the elite heroes, if you're not using them, you can do the same. You can start sacrificing those elite heroes, but I wouldn't at this point, especially if you're a little bit earlier to Guild of Guardians, I would go ahead and save those, because of course it's going to be imperative to build those up a little bit further. Now, when you start getting to the point of having a lot of excess copies, that might be the point where you do want to sacrifice. And of course, this is true for every single stage. As you can see here, stage challenge number 3 has a couple different ones in here. So these are going to be different shards. They are different heroes, but the same here is you can do challenge 1, 2, and 3. Now, going through here, you want to farm this up every single time. You can see I have 2 sweep events in here because I've already completed this. This is going to, again, yield me what? 4, 8. That yielded me 10 shards. Now, out of here, you do need 60 shards to build the hero. But again, if you're doing this on a regular basis, right, here's another 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's another 10 shards right there. So that is 20 shards. That is what, a third of the way into building another hero, which again, if we're going through here, we're picking up the shards. When you start adding additional stars to heroes, it takes a lot of copies to build them up, and I cannot stress it enough. In addition, getting EXP, getting everything else is going to be a game changer when it comes to the progression within this game. And overall, you want to always be pushing this as much as possible. We're right here in shallow waters. So as you're going through here, it says recommended Guardian level 88. But the further you're going through here and the faster you're going through here, the more you're going to unlock on the other side of the game, which I'll show you guys in just a minute. But you can see right here are the runes that are available in here. And of course, this is the reason why I said before, you have to know your heroes, because right here, the Imperials right here, this is the symbols that we have in there. Some of these are, of course, going to cover all heroes. Some of them are not going to affect it. And of course, you have to know what you're picking up in here. It makes a really big difference. This is probably something that I absolutely missed kind of in the beginning, but you can see going through all these runes, which ones you need to take, which ones you really are applicable to you. For instance, right now in my team, I am not running any mage heroes. So when I look through here, right here, like the innate focus, mages gain +5 area damage. I'm not running any mages. This is going to have 0 utility for me, which again, it makes a big difference knowing exactly what you're getting into and what shards you're getting out of this mode, but also looking at the endless mode. When you start looking at the endless mode, the exact same. This is a place where you want to farm a ton out of here. So I am actually staying at medium right now. I have the ability to go to higher, but recommended guardian levels 100. We're about mid 70s right now, which I feel like is right about here. I feel like as much as I want to go in and I want to try the higher level change to high, I'm not going to be able to get through a lot of floors really at all. Don't know if the rewards at it worth it really at this point. I'm going to have to check it out a little bit later and see if it is going to be worth it to farm a higher level versus just farming more floors at a lower level. Going to have to break out and see exactly where I can make progression. And of course, going through there. Now, the rush bosses you want to go through again, try to get your highest score in here, farming this as much as you can. And of course, arena, you can see we actually got from Baron to Viscount. So we did lose some points in here. And I've been going through in here and trying to farm out some of this. Now, PvP, of course, very important because of the reward shop. Same with every one of these is not only do you get ranking rewards, you get season rewards, which are going to yield you the ability to come into the shop and buy some other wares out of here. And of course, looking at epic heroes and legendary heroes, you can get a free legendary hero. Going to take you a little bit of time through PvP, but ultimately you can get some free heroes out of here, which every game mode, going through Endless, going through Rush, going through Arena, has the ability to get some coins or some different currency. Currency can be exchanged for heroes at a different level. Now, of course, looking at inventory, this is one you want to make sure, like I said, with these gold chests, if you're running out of gold, I use these every single day, but you can see when it comes to our heroes, and again, the shards of heroes that we have, a lot of these heroes that have 30, 40 shards that we're building up, as well as some of my rare heroes. Rare heroes, I am recycling. Now, we've talked about this before. When it comes to the energy booster, I have a link down below. If you're serious about playing Guild of Guardians, this is an absolute 100% requirement because of all the additions that it gives you, but you do have to purchase it. Now, of course, quest-wise, this is what we were talking about a little bit ago. Daily quest, very easy. Adventure quest, clear shallow waters. That is where I'm at right now. That is not only going to give me additional summoning stones, but right here behind the camera, you can actually level this up as an adventure level. It is going to give you more effects based on the level that you're at, as well as more diamonds. And then, of course, the achievement, raising up your guardian levels, raising up your commander levels, going to make a big difference in there when you're making progression. So guys, when you look at this game overall, it's been incredibly insightful. You could put a ton of money into this buying the NFTs, but getting the Ascended heroes in here do make a big difference when you're looking at your Guardians. But like I was saying a little bit earlier, with your Guardians, you can see my elite copies right here. Even looking here at Tavok, we are starting to get a lot of elite copies. So we're going to have to go through here, really disseminate which ones we're going to use, which ones we're going to recycle. Because even looking here, one single copy is going to give us 500 of our souls right here if I go ahead and recycle this. Now, of course, you want to focus on some primary heroes to build up because you do need a multitude of copies. And what I mean by that, and I'm going to share this spreadsheet. I'm going to bring over this spreadsheet. This was actually shared over on Discord. So looking at this, and I want to bring it over and kind of show you guys what it looks like looking at the game itself. So right here is kind of the breakout of the Guardians. I know my camera's a little bit in the way, but you can see this is the Enlightenment and the Radiance values. Now, of course, this shows you exactly what you need in all of the different aspects. For instance, when you look at some of my Guardians, I have some that are already at 6 stars, which is right here. You can see right here, the Enlightenment. So at 6 stars, we need one more copy. We do need a couple other things. And you'll notice we need the souls. So the souls required and the total souls, faction souls required, essentially looking in here to get to 7, I need 2,000 souls. So that is what I need. You can see right here, I don't need an additional copy to get to 7, but I do need those 2,000 souls. Now, even getting up to 8, which is a little bit behind here. Let me see if I can actually, wonder if I can zoom this in a little bit. There we go. We'll zoom it in quite a bit so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. So looking in here, like I said, when you're starting to look at these heroes, I have heroes that are at 6 stars right now. Getting them to 6 stars did require another copy. Now getting to 7 is going to require 2,000 of those souls, meaning that I have to sacrifice some of my heroes to get the souls. Souls are going to convert into adding more stars onto my heroes. And then of course, looking at 8, you need another copy of a hero. 10, you need another copy. Then 12 and 13, you need a copy. So 2 more copies there. Getting 14 and 15, when you start getting to the very bottom of this, you can actually, and it's kind of crazy, but you can see there's 2 copies right here. So even to go from basic right here, let's say you just got a legendary 5-star, congratulations. We need 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 copies to max out that hero. That means not only the 1 legendary hero that you unlocked, but you need 9 additional copies of that hero to add essentially to the 15 max stars on there, which again can make it kind of crazy when you think about how many copies of heroes, you know, that you can use kind of in a lot of different areas. It is kind of crazy to think just how many copies you need. And again, when you look at Elite, when you look at the different levels, of course, it takes different amount of heroes, but even these are only yielding us 100, where again, legendary heroes I would really keep. Now, of course, if you have some of these, and right here, it is offering some of these souls, because this is an NFT. If you go through and burn any legendary heroes, if you burn any of your elite heroes, they are only going to yield you souls. If you're burning some of these NFT heroes, you are going to get more of these, which again, I don't know at what point we're going to have to use those, because most of my heroes, as you can see right here, are at 6. And enlightenment wise, I do need my 2,000 Redeemer souls out of here to build these heroes up any further. So again, makes a really, really big difference in here when you're beginning to build heroes. Now, of course, in adventure mode, you can add a lot of heroes in there, but you don't have to. So what I mean by that is when we go into the shallow waters, we can go ahead and start. You can see right here, I can add 10 members into the party. However, I only have actual 5 that I have levels on. This is because I'm at a point where I can't afford to build up any other heroes. If I start splitting levels, essentially my hero levels are going to go down dramatically. I can only bring 5 heroes into this party because the rest of these heroes would essentially just be level 1 heroes, which really have no use going into here because of course the recommended level is what, 75, 80 plus. So getting these and building out these specific heroes, you're only focusing on 5 heroes in the party at a time to really build these out. And of course, you can only have 5 any given time. Now, when you progress further in this game, you'll have the ability to actually build out, let's say 6, 7, and 8, where let's say you have a formation that you're fighting, or you have a hero that dies in combat. You have the ability to swap a different hero in there, which could be really, really important to making progression within the campaign. And again, it seems like once I get through here into this next part, I don't know if we go to another map, but it seems like this is all that we have right now. Overall, guys, there's still a ton of things to come. There's pets coming to the game. There's a lot more of the functionality when it comes to the guild as well. There's going to be a ton of stuff that is coming down the pipeline for this game, which is why I'm super happy to be early into this. Now, we did beta test this once upon a time, years ago, actually, when we did beta test it. So I'm super excited to see that it is up and it is live. So, all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.